Texas Hockey Thursday. And these are going to be longer sports segments. What is happening? Stop. Okay. It's going to be longer. I swear. This is going to be longer sports segments. Yes. Than other ones because there's more leagues to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, here's what we do today in the NHL. We're going to review the first and second round and then game 1 of the Western Conference Finals yesterday. That's it. Okay. And then obviously we'll go over the other leagues. But those will be way quicker. Here we go. First round. We'll start at the East because we started at the West in basketball. So we'll start at the East here. Starting in the top right quadrant. Let me open the NHL app up on my phone myself. Hold the phone, bro. Hold the phone. Okay. Buffalo Sabres in Boston. Heading into the series, Boston was the team that had been in the playoffs like, 14 years, I think, something like that. They're hosting. They won the toughest division in hockey, I would say, between that and the Central, those two. Pushing a Boston team that wasn't the best, but experienced, led by arguably top 10 player in the league, and Pastrnak had a great goaltender, and it's a team that could pull off an upset against a team that notoriously chokes, right? Game 1, Boston actually has a 3-1 lead. 3-0 lead. Right. No, I actually don't remember now. Was it like 3-0, 2-0? I honestly don't remember. Hold up. Yeah, okay. So they had a 2-0 lead, and then was 12:02 into the third period. Tage Thompson scores. He finishes the puck behind the net, wraps it back around, finishes the goal. Buffalo's on fire, the crowd. And it's 2-1. Thompson scores again to tie the game. And less than a minute later, Mattias Samuelsson scores. The place is at 111 decibels. And then Alex Tuch scores an empty net goal about 2 minutes later. Pastrnak scores a power play goal at the end of the game, but doesn't really end up mattering. Buffalo takes game 1, and then they end up cruising to a win throughout that. I'm not going to add you in Discord, though. But anyways. Okay, so, and then the other series to play Buffalo, but yeah, anyways, forgot to end that series. Buffalo ended up kind of taking it from there. They lost game 2, but they won game 3, they won game 4. I wish they lost game 4, actually, and then they won game 5 and game 6, something like that, I don't know. But they ended up pretty cruising through that series, and they ended up proving, like, yeah, we're the better team, right? Montreal and Tampa Bay. Every single one of these games were a one-goal game. Every single one, including game 1, where it's 2-1 victory for Montreal. Jovic stole game 1. Back and forth series. Tampa Bay, after the Olympic break, was completely not the same team. They completely fell off. Montreal was on the uprise. Cole Caulfield scored 50 goals. Nick Suzuki's 100-point player, Selke finalist. Lane Hutson's 70-point defenseman. This team's awesome, and they're able to squeak out of the 7-game series victory over the Lightning. Hurricanes sweep the Senators, and again, I guess I didn't say it. This series wasn't a blowout. Like, the games are close, they're competitive, they're very physical, but the Hurricanes were able to win, just squeak out and get the W in every single one of the games, and they were able to sweep them. Awesome sweep for the Hurricanes. And then this was one of the best series as well. Flyers went up 3-0. They won both games at Pittsburgh, won game 3 in Philly. Pittsburgh able to win game 4 in Philly, and we're like, okay, I'll take it back home. Game 5, Pittsburgh able to squeak out a victory in game 5, force a game 6. In game 6, it's in Philadelphia, 0-0 in overtime. In overtime, they send a puck to the net. It goes in. It beats Seelovs, who won back-to-back games, by the way. Beats Seelovs. Flyers win in overtime, 1-0 in overtime, and they move on to play the Hurricanes in the second round. Before we talk about that, let's go to the first round up here. The other sweep, Avalanche versus the Kings. Now, this one was way more of a dominant sweep than the Hurricanes. They completely dominated the series for a vast majority of it. They were controlling the pace of the play. They were getting more shots. The goaltending was better. I would say Forsberg was pretty good for the Kings, but, I mean, everything else was just clicking for the Avalanche. And if you look over here for the Wild, this series is really even. They smoked Dallas in game 1. They lost game 2 and 3, I believe. and then just able to win one game 4, 5, and 6. I'm pretty sure if I remember that correctly, yes. Minnesota able to win that one in 6, play the Avalanche in a very interesting matchup at this point. Knights and the Mammoth showing glimpses for this young team. Utah was bumping, but Vegas, the veteran-led team, the experienced team, the poised team, able to get the series complete in 6, including a couple of overtime wins. And then the Ducks versus Oilers was a battle of no defense and no goaltending, and the Ducks able to squeak it out. They had the transition offense was killer, and they completely destroyed the Oilers. They had no response. Ducks took care of business in 6. Going to the second round in the East, Montreal and Buffalo. Their series is so even, man. Buffalo took game 1. Montreal wins back-to-back. Buffalo takes game 4. Montreal takes game 5. Buffalo takes game 6 on the road. And then Montreal in overtime. Alex Newhook, back-to-back game 7 game-winning goals. Winning in overtime. Sends the Canadiens to the conference finals. Hurricanes sweep the Flyers. I mean, most of the games, similar to Senator series, most of them were close. Like, they're physical. I mean, you could definitely tell the Hurricanes had a bit of an edge. The forechecking was better, especially in I would say game 1 was a dominant victory, Hurricanes victory. They were forechecking, came out to an early lead, and Flyers could not respond. Game 2 was much closer. Hurricanes able to squeak it out. Game 3 also pretty close. Hurricanes able to win. The game 4, obviously, in overtime. It goes off the bottom of Vladar's glove, over top of him, into the net. A little heartbreaker celly from Jackson Blake, and they move on to the conference finals to play the Canadiens, which game 1 is actually in about like 50 minutes, so probably about an hour from when I'm recording this, so streaming as of right now. So that's the first and second round. That's what we got right now, right? Western Conference Finals game 1 was yesterday. Vegas and Colorado. Early on in that game, they were trading shots. It was like train to Colorado, train to Vegas, train to Colorado, train to Vegas. We're going back and forth the entire first period and the first half of the second period. So the first half of the game. Second half of the game, Knight just walk in, rip a shot, beats Wedgwood 5-hole. And then, yeah, that breaks the ice, and then Vegas scores 2 more unanswered after that, goes up 3-0. Colorado scores 1, Valentin, and then late in the third period, McKinnon makes a nasty play in the corner, gets it out in front, makes a beautiful pass to Landeskog, finishes, makes it a 1-goal game. And then in Knights, about a minute later, scoring the empty net. They win 4-2 in game 1. They steal game 1 from Colorado. Home ice in the conference finals run through Vegas at this point. Colorado needs to respond to game 2, because if they lose in game 2, I mean, it's going to be really tough to come back with 2 games coming up in Vegas. I'll tell you that game 2 is ultra important. My prediction for the Western Conference Finals, Colorado in 7. Eastern Conference Finals. Actually, no, I'm going to stick with Colorado in 6. That was my original prediction. Give me Colorado in 6. Eastern Conference Finals. Ooh, this one's interesting. I'm going to say Carolina in 7. I think Carolina gets a dub. I think it goes to game 7. Actually, no. I'm going to say it right here, actually. Give me a bit of an upset. I could see it going either way. This is very highly anticipated for me, because I could see it going either way. Honestly, I really could. But give me the Canadiens in 7 games. I think the Canadiens are genuinely the slightly better team. I do. Like, I honestly, I think the Hurricanes could be better. I think they're really built for the playoffs, but I think the overall star power, the youth of this Canadiens team and how fire they've been, I could see them stealing game 1 because they just played a couple days ago, and the Hurricanes haven't played in nearly 2 weeks. And I really think this all comes down to the Montreal in either 6 or 7. Not even trying to make a joke. Don't even do that. But either Hurricanes in 6, or if it goes to 7, I would still take Montreal. Actually, I would say this. I think it's either going to be Montreal in 6 or Carolina in 7. I could see it going that way too. But I'm going to say Montreal in 7 as of right now. That is my prediction right now. Watch. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. Okay. It's probably going to open again. No, actually, okay. Yep, there it is. Probably going to open again. PWHL, we gotta review the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? What is happening? Stop! It's not letting me go full screen. It doesn't know what it's doing. Okay. Put up a couple more times. Okay. It's fine. It might open one more time, but we'll see. regardless, this is another league. It's a PWHL. I want to review the PWHL playoff as a whole. Starting in game 1, Minnesota and Montreal, this was back and forth. I mean, it was goal. Just goal Minnesota, goal Montreal, goal Minnesota, goal Montreal, like back and forth. Minnesota able to squeak one out in Montreal, win it in overtime, and steal game 1 for the defending back-to-back champions at this point. Yo, what is that? Anyways, game 1, another, I would say an upset. This one definitely upset. Ottawa able to get one out over Boston 3-1. They get one in Boston and they up 1-0. And then game 2, Minnesota and Montreal, 3 overtime. Like nobody could score. It was back and forth. Great goaltending. They really late playoff hockey here, and Montreal able to get the goal in triple overtime to get the W and tie the series heading to Minnesota. And they also played the game 3. And Montreal able to get another 1-goal victory. Back-to-back 1-goal games in this series. And Montreal able to get this one in regulation 2-1. Very close game, very great game, but they're able to get one in Minnesota. And now, the worst-case scenario, they bring it back to Montreal. Ottawa takes game 2 at home. Where's game 3, by the way? I feel like game 3 is supposed to be what? I don't know. Anyways, game 2. I think this was game 2 because there was a game 3 that Boston won. I'm pretty sure. But positive. Let me check that. I don't know why it's not here, but I'm pretty positive. I guess not. Okay. Game 2, Ottawa takes it 2-1. It's a great close game, and they're able to get another W, right? Yeah, Boston won game 2. I'm pretty positive. Don't know why it's not here, but game 4 in Ottawa, they win in double overtime. They get the goal. It just fires it on net. It gets in. Ottawa wins a double overtime. They're moving on to the Walter Cup Championship. Game 4 also, the Minnesota Frost win 3-1. They controlled the pace of this game, and they definitely deserved the game 4 victory. And they forced a game 5 on Montreal to play Ottawa. In this one, it was very close to the wire. Montreal takes a 2-1 lead. It's about and then the final push from Minnesota is too little, too late. Montreal hangs on, and they go to the Walter Cup. Game 1 of the Walter Cup, Montreal wins 3-2. This was a very even game. You could tell Montreal's a slightly better team, but they're able to get the W in overtime. Game 2, 2-1, overtime win for Montreal. They have so many close games in the whole postseason. They're able to win most of them. And then they go up 2-0 in the series. Game 3, 2-1. Ottawa won this game, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I don't know why I keep saying this, because I know Ottawa won game 3, and then Montreal won game 4. This is not right. Wait, I know the problem. Hold up. We need to refresh. Yeah. Ottawa wins game 3, 2-1, right? Able to squeak out a victory to keep the season alive at home. And then game 4, Montreal says, you know what, I'm done. We're going to win this right here. And they do. They win 4-0, get a shutout. Great way to end the year for them. Yeah, Montreal, the Walter Cup champions. Pretty interesting. Oh, with the college thing, I don't really know what to really do. So I did this. We're going to actually do a tracker. If you look at some of these teams, some of the players here, Chase LaPinta, former to Big Fun Saint, by the way, transferred to Linwood. That's pretty decent. I think Chase LaPinta is pretty good. Not going to lie. If you look at some of the players here that I recognize, not very many of them, actually. Dylan Silverstein transferred to Vermont. He is pretty good. Sioux City Musketeer. James Fisher, I recognize. He transferred to St. Louis. Jamison Slies, Slews or whatever, Slies or whatever. Transferred to St. Cloud. He's gonna be really good for St. Cloud State. He's actually gonna be really good. That's huge. Joshua Giuliani transferred to Bentley from St. Thomas. St. Thomas is pretty good. I'm interested to see why he transferred to Bentley. That's interesting. He's gonna be a sophomore. Michael Hagan's gonna be a junior. He transferred to Vermont. Really? Vermont. Interesting. Holy Cross got most of these players right here. You can see some of the players here, some of these pickups where they went to. Jeremy Loranger went to UConn, Connecticut. Not Connecticut. Yeah, Connecticut. Right there. That's a pretty big pickup for them, I would say. What are some other? Hagenberg, JJ Weebush transferred to Wisconsin. That's huge. That's huge. I'm a Wisconsin fan, but that's actually huge. JJ Weebush is fire. Hagen Burrows went to Notre Dame. Tanner Henricks went to Minnesota, as well as Austin Bernovic. I think Austin Bernovic from St. Cloud State to Minnesota. Minnesota, that's a huge pickup for them. Quentin Miller, freshman, transferred to Western Michigan. Jaden Drubenville transferred to Omaha. Gavin Lindbergh transferred to North Dakota. That's huge from Colorado College. Gavin Lindbergh's a very good player. Eric Polkamp signed with the San Jose Sharks. Blake Montgomery signed with Ottawa. Cade Littler and Hunter Haiti transferred to Arizona State. Arizona State looks to be making some moves. They're trying to get something. Quinn Finley signed with the Islanders. Yeah, here. Finn McLawn transferred to St. Cloud State from Minnesota. St. Cloud State definitely stacking up to play. They lost a couple players, but they're getting some in return, that's for sure, especially lately. Eric Paulson from Minnesota to Ohio State. David Cleave from North Dakota to Notre Dame. Leo Gruba from Minnesota, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's stacking up a little bit. They got David Cleave and Leo Gruba. Yeah. Potter went to Michigan State. Colin Potter went to Michigan State. That's very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Kevin Rather signed with the Senators. Sacha Boisvert went to Chicago. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Open up again. Here's the AHL as of right now. We're gonna hit the refresh in that one. Okay. First round. The Thunderbirds actually pull off a bit of an upset here over the Checkers. They win in it's all 3-game series, by the way, the first round. Bears sweep the Islanders. The Marlies take it in 3 over the Americans. Manitoba Moose take down the Emeralds. Your Admirals, oh my gosh. Colorado Eagles sweep the Gulls. Barracuda goes down in a sweep, and the Firebirds take down the Condors. In the division semifinals, Springfield Thunderbirds pull off one of the greatest upsets in AHL history. In 4 games, including the last one in overtime, take down the 1-seeded Bruins. Wow. The Penguins take care of business. The Marlies pull off another upset over the Rocket in 5 games. They move on to the North Division Finals to play the Cleveland Monsters, who won their series in 4 games. The Griffins take down the Moose pretty handily in 4 games. The Wolves take down the Texas Stars in 5 games. Firebirds take down the Reign in 5 games as they come off their big first-round matchup. They went back-to-back win-or-go-homes, and then the Eagles take down. Oh my god, I completely forgot that team's name. Now I got. Oh my gosh. I believe. The North Division Finals right now. Bruins lead 2-1 over the I believe these are 5 games. 2-1 over the Thunderbirds. Monsters lead 2-1 over the Marlins. 2-1 Wolves over the Griffins, and then the Eagles just closed out the Firebirds last night. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Are in the Western Conference Finals. They would play the winner of this series, and then these two teams would play each other in the Eastern Conference Finals to play the winner of this series through the Conference Finals. That's what we're looking like right now. Here is the QMJHL, right? Goodness gracious. Moncton Wildcats sweep St. John Sea Dogs. Sweep them very convincingly. If you look at the series here, 5-1, 3-2 in overtime, 6-0, 7-3, just dominant. Besides game 2, pretty close. I genuinely don't know I'm just gonna call them the Sags because I don't know what to call them, so I'm gonna call them the Sags. Sags sweep the Mooseheads. Newfoundland able to take down the Cat Breton Eagles. Quebec Rampart take down Charlottetown Islanders in 7. Huskies win in 7. Almada sweep the Tigers. I think that's how you say it. I'm just gonna call them the Tigers. I don't care. Val d'Or, I actually had this upset. They won in 5. And Shawinigan wins over the Phoenix in 7. Moncton sweeps Val d'Or. They win 8 straight games. I think I might be watching the Thunder. Not actually for real though. They sweep. Sags also sweep, back-to-back sweeps for them. Huskies also sweep. They won the first series in 7, but they sweep the second round. And then Armada wins in 6 games. They won pretty decently over Newfoundland. In the semifinals, Moncton takes down Armada 4-3. The first game was in quadruple overtime. All of them were very close. Moncton able to win 7. That was probably the best series of the playoffs. And then the Sags take down the Huskies in 6. QMJHL Championship. Sags take down Moncton in 6 games. I basically had Moncton Sags in the championship, but I had Moncton winning. That was the one that I had incorrect. Look here in the OHL playoffs right here. I'll explain the Memorial Cup in a second. Round 1, Kitchener sweeps Saginaw. I'm a Saginaw fan, so this was not pretty. This was not fun. But they did for the most part. Steve Marie takes down London in 5, pardon me. They take them down convincingly. Flint sweeps Owen Sound, and Windsor also sweeps Guelph. Or Guelph, you obviously I actually don't know how to say that. Guelph. Brantford sweeps Sudbury. North Bay beats Peterborough in 6. Ottawa sweeps Kingston, and Barrie beats Niagara in 5 games. In round number 2, Kitchener takes down Sioux pretty handily in 5 games. Windsor sweeps the Flint. This surprised me. Brantford sweeps North Bay, and Barrie takes down Ottawa in 5 games. This also surprised me how convincing that was. That was pretty shocking. Kitchener takes down Windsor in 5 games. I didn't really believe in Kitchener, but they made me wrong. And Barrie takes down the big dogs, no pun intended, in Brantford in 7 games. That game 7 really surprised me. I really was gonna take Brantford, but they got dominated in that game 7. And in the championship, Kitchener sweeps Barrie, who was on a bit of a miracle run. I mean, they were good, but I appreciate you, Papa Doug 1960. But yeah, that's kind of what happened there. In the WHL, I don't know why I refreshed. It's literally been over for weeks. Not quite sure. Here sweeps Portland. Kawana sweeps Kamloops. Prince George takes down Spokane in 6, and oh my goodness, Pension. I don't even know how to say that. Yeah, we're gonna call them the V's. Call them the V's. Takes down the Thunderbirds in 5. Prince Albert takes down Red Deer in 5. Calgary takes down Brandon Wheat Kings in a sweep. Saskatoon takes down the Oil Kings in 7. And Medicine Hat Tigers take down the Regina Pats in 5 games. Over here to the round 2, Everett takes care of business with the Rockets in 5. The V's take down Prince George in 6 games. But here in round 2, Prince Albert sweeps Saskatoon, and Madison Hat Tigers also sweep Calgary. Everett sweeps the V's. Prince Albert handles business against the Tigers in 6 games, and Everett pretty much dominates Prince Albert in 5 games. That sets up the Memorial Cup. Memorial Cup starts on Friday. It's the 3 championship winners, which is the Everett Silvertips, Sydney Rangers, and Sags. The host team, I don't remember who the host team is. I honestly don't remember. But that's the matchups. And then that starts on Friday, and then we'll play round robin. I believe every team plays each other once, I think, something like that. And then whoever team has the 2 most points out of the round robin tournament plays each other in the championship to find out who the Memorial Cup champions are. On to the USHL last league of the day. We're reviewing the playoffs here, you know? Just gonna open this up here, I'm not surprised. Because my computer's bipolar, doesn't know which one's the screen button half the time. So, first round in the USHL is a best of 3, and then it's a best of 5 the rest of the way after that. Game 1 in the first round, Des Moines able to take down Lincoln at home. Muskegon defending champs upset Cedar Rapids on the road. Sioux City able to take down Tri-City in a close one in overtime, 4-3. Lincoln destroys Des Moines 8-4 in game 2, forced to game 3. Madison upsets Green Bay 2-1 in game 1. That really surprised me. And then they also upset them again 2-1, but this time in overtime to complete the sweep in a shocking upset. Sioux City handles business pretty handedly. Yeah, against Tri-City 62 to complete the sweep. Defending champs take down Cedar Rapids again, also complete the sweep themselves. Madison, and then Lincoln wins game 3 to move on. And here's the second round. Madison upsets Youngstown in game 1. They keep pulling it off some way, somehow. Dubuque takes down Muskegon in game number 1. A nail biter all the way down to the finish. Sioux Falls handles business against Lincoln in game 1. Madison upsets Youngstown again on the road. 1-0 in overtime. Took 2-0 series lead heading to Madison. Fargo handles business against Sioux City 4-1. Muskegon dominates Dubuque 6-2 in game number 2. Head back home, tied 1-1. Lincoln upsets Sioux Falls 4-3 in overtime in game 2. Fargo takes down Sioux City again, 7-4 this time. Have a chance to complete the sweep. Sioux City forces a game 3 as they won in overtime in game 3. Dubuque takes down Muskegon in game 3. Youngstown forces a game 4 as they won 4-2 in Madison. Lincoln forces forcing a game 5 and do nothing, so no. Take the series lead 6-2. It was 6-2 W. Fargo closes out the series in double overtime on the road in Sioux City. 3-2 in double overtime. Muskegon forces the game 5, 4-2 W at home ice. Sioux Falls forces the game 5 on the road, 5-1 over Lincoln. Madison closes it out 2-1 at home over Youngstown. Muskegon dominates game 5 and they move on. And Sioux Falls also wins game 5 as they move on as well. We go to the championship, or the conference final, to say. Madison upsets Muskegon in game 1. They keep doing it. They have a 1-0 series lead. Sioux Falls beats Fargo 6-2. Dominant. This was going to be a really good series, but they dominant win. They win game 1. Muskegon bounces back as they win game 2. Fargo also bounces back as they win game 2 in overtime. Madison takes down Muskegon, 1 win away from the championship. Fargo wins game 3 in triple overtime. Sioux Falls wins game 4 in overtime. Back-to-back overtime games. So that going to game 5. Muskegon wins game 4. They also go to game 5. The first of the game 5s, Sioux Falls wins 3-2. They squeaked that one out for Fargo to move on to the championship. Oh, that was the second one, actually. But the first one, Muskegon dominates Madison 6-2 as they meet Sioux Falls in the championship. Game 1 of the Clark Cup Finals, Sioux Falls able to take down Muskegon 3-1, and they also beat them 3-0. Leonardo Seldsburg shut out in game 2, and they're 1 win away from the championship at this point. We will come back next week, I believe, with a champion. Champion will be crowned, and we will talk about the last 1, 2, or 3 games if it comes down to it. But yeah, that's going to do it for Hockey Thursday. I hope you enjoyed, and hope you come back for more videos. Peace.